Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Portage College and the Rural Development Network, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to our third presentation in the Indigenous Resilience Speaker Series. This has been a month-long journey where we have explored and celebrated the strength, wisdom, and resilience of Indigenous communities. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that this gathering is being broadcasted from the traditional lands of First Nations peoples, the owners of Treaty 6, which are also homelands to the Métis people. We honor the history and culture of all people who first lived and gathered in these lands. So a few housekeeping notes before we start. Because we are live, we're asking if you could keep your microphone muted during our presentations. And when you have, if you have a question that you'd like to ask, feel free to put that question in the chat, or you can save it to the end of the presentation and we'll go through the questions then. And just to remind you that we are recording this session. So good morning. My name is Carrie Froller and I'm one of the vice presidents here at Portage College, and my portfolio is the portfolio of people and culture. So it's with immense pride that we bring you this series virtually from the Waniska Room built at Portage College. And this room was developed out of initiative, a Ways of Knowing Cultural Spaces. And our college was established in 1968. And the college began by a sit-in that was held by First Nations and Métis people, which is a true demonstration of resilience as they sat in for 26 days. And we are so grateful that they did. We're also happy to be sharing the broadcast with our community today, and we also have a live audience as well, so we're pretty excited to have them joining us. At this time, I'd like to welcome Elder Lester St. Arnaud, and he will do an opening prayer for us. Back. Thank you.
Gananapskong now. Anak kisigao, kamamondo tauta. Ipin tautista taup matsuun, istuun sohtamatun. Tän siisadiis maskoosumet inu, kap miityä. Kani heuja, kap stohtatyä, nihi okap miityä tai siinu. Iku kamma, os siellä kvalifiiks vastoo, kipyhtä muuta. Kisin kun hapatehtaan, kipiks kuun. Tän stohtaman. Kivuena, kiityin nihiu. Kiityin. Thank you for inviting me here to say a prayer. As a native man, my elders always used to talk to me about who you are as a person. Nihil, a full-bodied being. You got a mind, a spirit, physical body, and emotions. They always stress to understand your language, because language is important to all your ceremonies and the land that you come from. I come from Little Red River Cree Nation up north. And sometimes I wonder, what am I doing here? You know, I come to class, I come to this college to learn things, to bring back home. And a lot of times I sit and wonder and think about the people I left. My mom, she's 85 years old, getting along in years, not in good health. I think about her. And I go sit with her and listen to her speak about stuff, talk about the old days, and try to make me realize that as an individual in the community, we got to pass on these teachings. And I was fortunate enough to sit a lot of the elders in our community in Little Red as a young child. And understanding them when they say, I'll give you an example. When we say steam out, what is that word in plain English? The best translation I can offer, steam out, means I honor this plant that was given to me by the Creator. That is the word we use when we say tobacco, steam out. Right? No, that. Kena skomt na not kisigao. Mina, abim giska na muin. So itamunan. So matugang minta guyaikesko. Uisti ba ko ab mi sihas at wahyo me gusto kapot. Tayo sabmat inoa. Iga ko tahtun tasto sto bayhot kiwat mi sistiky. Kena naskumpun maat suun reik miin. Kie kait meet maat suun. Minnuit jaaganak. Minua kumaganak. Min taasumsak. Ete ei muhtohtiaan, so ihtamuun. Taskigat mitään minuuta. Min kahkio ke taasumsak. Ispistääkö maski. Soi. Egonek aiwaagio kahpostaa. Egonek mkette mägno. Sa so ihtamuut maat suunoa. Tämä mielestäni juuttaa. Tämä kivittää. Tämä jo attako, mitä se on. Ääkseni sekin mä kuuttamaan. Enkä mä ei voi uekospista yhtäyksiään. Tämä piksi kuista muok. Ei siinä. Niistä mä vasta huinu. Niistä mäkin muutisesti johon päivän mistä sitä on. Mäkin maassa papumian. Keksi vaatsuun. Ei tamti pattaan. Ään kuimi. Pistä, kun muu ei kumpun. Muu itsihin. Mä piksi nohtahin. Tän teo midohtiään. Ei mä vansniään, mun typskan ohit muhtiään oma. Anoht kissakaan vaska taska muokkaat miittyjään. Mä gaan niissä. Mä muistaa emo. Istäkin suhkajat. Ei mä vaan siinä muut, mä oon niistäkään. Minä ja siinä muut. Inua. Tuuttiin kap mitään. Ja oksani siis, mikä tämä on kuuttamaan keksi juotsuun. Kesikau. Hei.
Thank you, Lester. We're so fortunate that Lester's decided to, he's a former addiction counselor who is following a different journey, and he is currently a student in our Native Arts and Culture program. So we're very fortunate that he could join us today. I'd like to also extend our heartfelt gratitude to our supporters, Pembina Pipeline Corporation and CN. Their generous support has made it possible for us to offer this speaker series to everyone free of charge and enabling us to share these valuable insights without barriers. Before we begin, I'd like to welcome my co-host, Linda Bernicki, representing the Rural Development Network. And Linda will take a moment to share with us what the Rural Development Network's role is and their collaborative efforts through rural and Indigenous communities across Canada. So good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Carrie, and thank you so much. And before I start, I just wanted to sincerely thank Elder Lester for bringing us into a space to where we can start out. So thank you so much for your time and your words. So my name is Linda, and I'm the Director of Community Development and Indigenous Engagement with the Rural Development Network. And I am really honored to work for an organization that is committed to learning together on our journey of reconciliation. And one of the ways that we are doing this is working together with leaders such as Portage College to co-host speaker series like this, so we can all learn together. But who is the Rural Development Network? Well, we're a nonprofit organization that works across Canada. We focus on sustainability, rural sustainability, and creating tangible community impact. We really understand rural communities have unique needs, challenges, and opportunities. As many as you know, a lot of programs and services out there are really focused on urban and urban delivery. When you try to put those into rural and Indigenous communities, they just don't work because of the different social and economic structures and infrastructures. But often it's because there isn't the social and economic structures and infrastructures in the community, and that's why they don't fit. And that's why there needs to be creative solutions for unique issues across the country. So some of the main things we do overall is we work with communities to create innovative tools and resources like guides, toolkits, and trainings. And we really focus on what the unique needs of the individual communities are in developing those. We provide expertise and boost capacity of communities in implementing their own projects and service deliveries. And we do a lot of advocacy by helping connect people in the sector to share resources and information through events and through a variety of different networks and conversations and opportunities such as the Indigenous Resiliency Speaker Series. And we support groups in accessing funding. Accessing funding could mean writing a grant for somebody or just navigating the entire process and what that looks like, because it is very convoluted and complicated at times. And so we're going to pop our information email in the chat, and we would love to continue the conversation and learn more about you and your organization and your needs in your community. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Carrie.
Thanks, Linda. And Linda will be monitoring the chat as we go through the presentation. So if there's any kind of questions or anything you have, don't hesitate to pop them in there and we'll catch them after. So it's now my great pleasure to introduce our presenter today. So Tony Toosick, aka Toosick, is a local hip hop artist and grass dancer. And he's going to give us some background and storytelling about traditional Indigenous dance, and specifically the story and traditions behind the grass dance. Unfortunately, Sheena is not able to join us today, but Tony has graciously offered to step in and also share with us the spoken word piece. Tony offers music and spoken word pieces based on reconciliation, overcoming stereotypes, and focuses on issues like the missing and murdered Indigenous women and Every Child Matters. Tony has performed his music and dance at venues all over Canada and often appears as a keynote or motivational speaker for conferences as well. So just as we get pass this over to Tony, some of the subject matter may be sensitive, so we just wanted to let you know that ahead of time. So first we will watch 2 short videos of the jingle dance dress, and then Tony will join us. So we'll pass it over to the videos, and then Tony, it's all yours.
Thank you.
Technical difficulties are always fun on a Friday morning, aren't they?
Technology.
Yeah, technology. We love it, but it can cause us a few gray hairs too.
So I'll take a moment to speak here. So yeah, that was my auntie Laurencia, actually, believe it or not. She's very young. She's actually 3 years younger than me, but she's my auntie. She dances that jingle dress style. So we have a dance group called the Toosick crew. It's all Toosick family members, close relatives, family, friends. And we go out and do a lot of these demonstrations. And, she's really become one of the stars of the show. But that jingle dress dance, it comes to us from, the Eastern Ojibwe tribes out in Ontario, along the eastern coast of the United States and Canada. And, it made its way over here through gifting and ceremony. It's a ceremonial healing dance, so that dress will have typically 365 cones all around the dress. They're metal, so they're pretty heavy. It's a heavy dress, but that weight of the dress, and with that along with the drum and the dance, it provides that healing energy. There's an old tale of a lady, I believe the name was Maggie White, and she was sickly. She was very ill, and they say that dress and this dance actually helped heal her from her illness, from her sickness. Making that dress, she was very sick, and she fought her way through her illness in order to finish the dress and finish it, and to be able to wear it. And yeah, the legend has it that dance and that dress healed her from her illness. And so we use this dance now, as a healing dance. There's when you bring out the jingle dress dancers, it's very the energy that they give off is very different than other dancers. The sound that those dresses give off, especially when there's a lot of them out at the powwow, that energy, uh it transfers for sure. And you know the females, the ladies, are very sacred in Indigenous culture. Like they gave us the drum, which is the heartbeat of Mother Earth. They're the givers of life, and because of that, they are the closest to Mother Earth. That's what we believe. And so as the jingle dress dances, she's hopping, but she's always keeping her feet close to the ground. She never actually leaves the ground. And the way my auntie dances, she dances that old style jingle. So it looks like she's hopping, but she's actually hopping up onto her tippy toes. And it's very cool. She never leaves that connection to Mother Earth. And that's just, one of the teachings that I was taught through the jingle dress dance.
That's really cool. So I think we're ready. We're going to have someone, Jamie will share it here. So thanks for those tips, because now we'll watch the feet a little closer. So thank you.
And the little one beside there is a fancy shawl dancer. That's my 2-year-old daughter, Aaliyah, dancing.
Oh, cool. This morning at our sunrise ceremony, we actually had a jingle dancer perform as well. So it was so beautiful to see that at 7:30 in the morning. It was very nice.
Yeah, the jingle dress is one of the more popular styles of dance in the powwow circuit.
Mhm. Yeah, it's beautiful to watch and beautiful to listen to, just the different sounds that the cones make, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, they give off a lot of, like I said, that energy it transfers. And
Yeah.
when you go out to a powwow, there'll be about 50, 60 of them sometimes, all in the circle. It's hard to even move.
Yeah, for sure.
When I was Aaliyah's age, the little girl's age there, there was a lot of dancers too, but it's probably doubled, maybe even tripled since. So it's nice to see more and more people coming out of their comfort zone and allowing themselves to learn, our ways, our dances. It all starts with there too, right? Along with the dances comes other ceremonies too.
Right. And I think watching the young children too, and seeing how they're growing up with it to just be a second nature to them is really fun. We had a little young drummer this morning. I don't know how old he would have been, maybe 4 or 5, helping his brothers and uncles drum. And it was really, really fun to watch him do that drumming too. So it's so cool to see the youth. It's just part of their way of being, and that's so important.
Yeah, and that's a lot of why I do what I do.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try this one more time.
right, awesome. So yeah, I gave you guys a little bit of the rundown of what the jingle dress dance is there, and so you would have heard the straight song. There's the traditional, kind of just that straight. That's our typical, straight song style of beat. And it's usually when we're dancing, we'll count on either twos or fours. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Or I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 in my head while I'm dancing, just to kind of keep beat and to know where I'm at. And then there was that second song they did there. My brother Dana and I were singing there. Dana was singing. I was kind of just standing there looking cool with the drum. But that second style of is called the sidestep. And so that sidestep, it comes to us, it originates out east in those Ojibwe tribes. It's similar to that round dance that you would hear, at a round dance. The typical beat you would hear is like they say is the heartbeat of Mother Earth. So that's and then our sidestep beat is typically a little bit faster. So it's just like a round dance beat, but just on a faster pace round dance, I guess. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was the jingle dress. I believe we do have a grass dance video queued up as well soon here, right?
We'll try our luck with the videos again. I'm
Well,
not sure if everyone was able to hear your drum, though. We couldn't hear it here. So I don't know that we could.
Right, I have a different kind of so yeah, that round dance beat, just like the heartbeat of Mother Earth, it kind of sounds like.
Can't hear it.
You can't hear the drum.
No. No.
So weird. I'm just using a regular microphone.
Unless, Linda, did you hear the drum there? Maybe it's just no, they're telling me no, they couldn't hear it
No.
either.
No, he didn't.
We're sharing the technology problems across.
No, there's something up with this drum. I think I gotta get rid of it.
Can you tap his mic to see if the mic is working?
Maybe just tap your mic, I'm being told, to see if your mic is working.
Yeah, so the round dance beat was that.
I don't think that's.
Yeah, your mic isn't working.
My mic's not working, man.
Yeah.
But we can hear you.
We can hear you talking great, but we just can't hear through the microphone.
Is it like through here?
Must be.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Sound is quite.
Oh, is the sound cancellation on?
Sound cancellation might be on
Oh,
your.
yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to, like, I can screen share on my end some of the grass dance videos. I can see if that works.
Sure. Let's try that.
I have it queued up if you need me to share it,
Okay.
I have
but it's
one
totally up to you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to blow your ears off there. Because I just took some new videos yesterday as well.
Oh,
I got a brand new outfit, so if you guys want to check that out, I can screen
we'll definitely want to see that.
see if it hosts a single person. Oh, I can't screen share. It says
Okay, we're just giving you permission here right now.
No, co-host.
You now are co-host, so we're giving you full control here, Tony.
awesome. Optimized for a video clip, right? Yes. So, okay, I'm screen sharing now. You guys can see my screen.
We can, it's loading.
Okay.
We see.
And I'll go here. You guys can see the video that I'm about to load up.
Not yet. We see a white screen.
White screen. Oh, no. There we go. There, now you can see?
We can, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is a grass dance. This is the style of dance that I do. I was gifted this dance as a young kid. I actually stopped dancing for about 15 years. I got involved into drugs and alcohol, and that's kind of where some of the heavier content and stuff comes from. I'll talk about later on through my music. But that little girl you saw in the last video there, that's my daughter Aaliyah. So she actually helped bring me back into the powwow circle. If it wasn't for her, I don't see myself being where I am today. And that involves a lot of, cultural healing, language, learning my language, ceremonies. I'm singing, learning the drum now. And most importantly, and my favorite is I'm grass dancing again. And that's, it does a lot for me. So this grass dance was given to us from the Southern Omaha tribes down in the United States of America. It made its way up here between the 30s and 60s. I'm not too, I've heard a few different stories on it now. But it made its way up here like in the early 1900s. And, this dance was originally done to flatten the grass for the sun dances. We'd have Sundance ceremonies. They'd bring out the grass dancers. They would help flatten and bless the grounds. So grass dancers are usually the first to dance at the powwow, and they'll come out and dance and they'll flatten the ground as well. So everything we do on one side, we try to do it on the other side as well. It symbolizes physical balance. For me, it also symbolizes balance in everyday life. So since I started dancing powwow again, I've put down drugs and alcohol. I'm happy to say that I'm 21 months sober from alcohol, and I'm just over 2.5 years sober from drugs as well. And so, yeah, without further ado, this is my new regalia. I just danced in it for the first time yesterday. This is the men's grass dance. Oh, sorry, guys. My older brother messaged me on Facebook. He's babysitting my puppy, right? So yeah, that was the grass dance, straight song style. And I'm going to get into the video here for the next song here. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, my brother was just running my dogs and he thought it was a good time to message me. So you guys can still see my screen?
We can see it. Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay. So this next style of dance here, it's called a crow hop or a double beat. So a crow hop will be on like let's see, can you guys hear the snapping? Hopefully you guys yeah.
See the snapping?
Yeah, you can see the snapping, I guess. So the crow hop style of beat, is that typical 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 1 2 that I'm dancing on a straight song. This crow hop style is different. We dance it on ones, so 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, kind of the whole time, right? But this the style that I'm gonna do is the original crow hop style. So it's called a double beat. So as opposed to the beat being on that boom, 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 1, 1, 1, it's on a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And so they call that the double beat. And that double beat is the original crow hop style. That crow style comes to us from the Crow tribes down in the United States. And so up here, the crow is very sacred to us. They say that the crow got his black feathers from flying to the sun with a stick and bringing back fire to help keep us warm through the long, cold winters. Another story that I was told that's not really a story, it's actual facts, that the crow is the North American parrot. And when I say that, they say that the crow used to be the messenger of our people. He would let us know when there was trouble coming, when there was enemies on the way. He would send messages in between our camps for us to keep in contact. And so I saw some videos on YouTube of crows, even in today's day, where I saw a video of an elderly lady out in Vancouver Island. Every morning she woke up and she would say hello to this crow. Hello, crow, that was nesting in her yard. And then one day the crow said hello back to her. And she took a video of it, put it on YouTube. It was really funny. Lots of people all over YouTube have videos of crows talking. So unfortunately, here in North America now, with bills and social media and all that stuff, that we don't have the time to talk to crows. But if you give a crow a little tender love and care, it might just say hello back to you. So for that and many other reasons, the crow is a very wise spirit. We honor him with this dance, and this is the double beat crow hop style.
Beautiful, beautiful song here today. And there's our halftime. We are ready for song number 2.
There we go. So yeah, that was my new outfit as well. I was very I've watched that video probably 300 times now. Watching myself dance in that. I used to have a green outfit, it was a lot heavier. This outfit here, my mom actually bought this one for me a few days ago off of a close friend. My mom was a residential school survivor. Oh my God, my hair, what's going on? Someone's got to tell me my hair's off point. I'm just kidding. My mom was a residential school survivor, and she went through her claims and everything like that with her lawyer, and after a couple of years of waiting, she got paid out for her residential school experience. And the first thing that she did was she took care of her 5 kids. She has me and 4 other siblings, and 3 of us dance. And you know, she also has 7 grandchildren now from me and my sister. I only have the one. My sister's, I don't know what she's up to, but she's got a lot of grandchildren now. And so my mom, you know, took her money, and we have never had a lot of money in our lives. We grew up very poor, inner city Edmonton, single parent most of my mom's life. And you know, most of the males that came into our life were Indigenous men that struggled with alcoholism and substance abuse as well. My mom, you know, my mom never drank. My mom did her best. She was a Cree teacher actually for many years, but as we know, teachers don't make a lot of money. And so we struggled a long time. My mom was saying to us that it's sad that my mom had to go through that residential experience to be able to actually buy all of her kids new regalia and to be able to help us dance powwow again. Like it's you know, it's unfortunate, but you know, we're taking that time, and you know what we're taking everything we can and doing everything we can to help preserve our culture for our next generation, for the grandchildren and our children. So yeah. So I guess, is there any questions from the people on the board here about any of the dances or anything in the panel? Or any questions in the chat?
I'll look and see if I
Press
can
the red button there, Carrie.
see there.
There's no questions though.
No questions on the chat, but in the room, does anyone have questions at all?
Carrie, can you ask him how many pieces are in his regalia?
Pardon me?
Can you ask him how many pieces are in his regalia?
So Tony, the question is, how many pieces are in your regalia?
Oh man, a growing number always. We're always adding new stuff, whether it's new beadwork or, you know, just a couple necklaces or anything like that. But typically for a grass dance regalia, I would have my t-shirt, my pants, which are, you know, they're a ribbon shirt, ribbon pants. And then I would have my breechcloth front and back. So there's the 4 main pieces of the outfit. And then you have your beadwork sets that are the additional pieces as well. You know, you don't need them in order to dance. Most people like having it. It's more common to see a grass dancer fully decked out with the beadwork. So you'll have your headband, your harness, which is the drops right here. And then you'll have your side drops that cover the sides on your legs, so you don't see your thighs. And then you'll have your cuffs. So those will all typically be one set. I'm in the transition stage right now of getting a whole new set. But the beadwork costs a lot of money. Like that's the one thing that costs the most money now. The price of beads has skyrocketed and everything like that. But and then you'll have your headpiece, your headdress. So there's a roach. That roach is made out of porcupine hair. The one that I have, I'm fortunate enough to actually have a real porcupine hair one. And then the colored hair around the bottom would be dyed deer tail. So they'll take white deer tail and then they'll dye it whatever colors to coordinate with the outfit or the regalia that they have. And then you have your moccasins, your bells, your furs.
So how heavy would that be when you're dancing? It's got to be weight just from the beating alone.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's very heavy. So you'll see the men's fancy dancers, they wear the big feathers on the bustles on their back. So they have basically every piece that we have, minus, you know, a couple pieces to make them a little bit lighter, but they're heavy, and they also dance at a faster pace. When my grass dance outfit, the ribbons are very heavy. Like I had a different outfit that the new outfit that I had made for me and bought for me, I went for that specific style so that it would be lighter. I don't have ribbon on my shirt. I have fringe. So it's a lot lighter. Now it doesn't move as, you know, like crazy, but the movement comes from me. Like I give off that energy. I give off that energy with my feet. You know, it allows me to move my feet faster as well, which is a very nice feature to it as well.
So the colors of your regalia, are those colors that you pick, or are the colors significant to the different dances, or is there, are you designing your outfit before you get it, or how does that work?
So I actually designed an outfit that I never got around to making. It was with my wedding colors. I've been teaching myself how to sew, but that's a headache in its own. I leave it up to my family. But yes, I designed an outfit that I'm gonna get made, and that was specific to my wedding colors. I usually wear the yellow bandana because I'm a Toosick member. So Toosick family, we come from Powmaker Cree Nation. That's in Saskatchewan. Chief Powmaker he was an activist, and he was one of the great leaders for Indigenous people. You know, out and he was a leader and activist for our people out that way, and he fought against the Canadian government in signing those treaties. And some say that he never actually signed the treaty, that he was actually pushed to his deathbed and never actually signed it, or they forced him to sign it. But yeah, that Chief Pawmaker is a relative of mine. He's a ancestor of mine. His blood brother was a man named Yellow Mud Blanket, and then when the Indian agents came along and they were giving us all names and everything like that, they had gave him that last name of Tutusis. There was a couple things that I had heard there's a couple stories that I heard from my family name that Tutusis in the Cree language means like big chests, big chested. So I'd imagine our women were pretty back then. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, there was they say that that's what that translates to in our Pawmaker Cree language. That's what I was told. And then another thing that they say is that toothless, like the Indian agents would give out names based on what they had seen, kind of thing. So they say, oh, this Yellow Mud Blanket person was missing some of his front teeth, so they're toothless. And then so he translated it to Toosis. And then I'm a relative of him that he can translates that way as well. I skateboard semi-professionally. I do it like just for fun, go to contests and stuff. And yeah, one year I had a board hit me in the mouth, took my teeth out, but
Yeah, the hazard of the job, right?
yeah, oh yeah, but I live up to the family name, I guess, right?
There you go. Yeah, it was for a reason.
I got a couple.
Okay, I have a couple more questions here.
The different dances between men and women, there's some dances that are specifically for each one.
Yeah.
And the other one is, maybe you could talk a little bit, well, what those dances are, and can a woman enter a men's contest or vice versa?
Yeah.
It's just curiosity. And the other one is when that eagle, I think it's when an eagle feathers drop, everything comes to a standstill until
yeah,
ceremony.
Yeah, so like on my head, I'm wearing the 2 black tip feathers, and those feathers are at the highest of honor, they say, because those black tip tail feathers, they come from gold eagle. So the way it works is a bald eagle, will start its baby life out as a chick, and then it'll grow into a bald eagle. And then later on into their elder years, they'll actually molt their feathers and they molt into a golden eagle. I didn't know this until I actually went eagle watching. I thought they were 2 different breeds, but then those black tips will come from that elder golden eagle, right? And so the reason why we use those eagle feathers is that the eagle can fly like the highest out of any bird. And so they take our prayers with them. That feather helps send our prayers up. When we smudge and we light the smudge, that feather helps send that smoke from the smudge up. And they say that the eagle carries our prayers closest to Creator. So that's why you'll see typically a lot of eagle feathers out on the powwow circuit. And when the eagle feather drops, now there's certain places that don't do it, and there's certain places that still. I know it's a big thing around like the Cree culture, that when a feather stops, everything kind of stops for a second. They'll bring out an elder to drop some tobacco and say a prayer for that person who dropped the feather, for the people in attendance, and for that feather and for that bird specifically, right? It's an important thing. I've been to powwows before where in different, like I spent a lot of time in the Blackfoot country where they don't do that. They don't stop the powwow for, and I've heard in some of the United States they don't stop either. Sometimes they'll just bring an elder and they'll drop their tobacco and pick it up. But So different styles of dance, like it's very cool and cool one that for you to ask, like, for is a man allowed to dance in a woman's, or vice versa, is a woman allowed to come in to dance into the men's? For Indigenous people, you know, like for the LGBTQ community, there's a lot of obviously there's a lot of like discrepancy, and there's a lot of like prejudice towards them, and you know, we're now coming into a time where it's being more accepted into modern society, into urban culture. um and it's amazing to see. And in Indigenous culture, they say, anyways, from my teachings, I've heard that we've always had that, we've always been accepted to, like, to everybody. It's always been open to, like, there's always been the openness of two-spirit people. But I was also been taught that that two-spirit term has been misused in a way of, you know, like the back in the ancestral days, that two-spirited person would be someone who had the spirit of a man. You were born a man, but had that those emotional feelings, or that emotional connection with Mother Earth, much like a female does, and in touch with their emotions. And you know, they're able to summon two spirits. Essentially, they're able to do both man and woman things, like medicine and like a medicine and a warrior, so to speak, kind of thing, right? Or a medicine man and a warrior, so to speak, or to use medicine. Um, in today's day and age, like, there's been a couple times where you'd see a powwow where, let's say, men dance men's category, women dance in women's category, kind of thing. Like, it's happened a couple times, and there's been some backlash from the community. That's not our way as Indigenous people. You know, we're very accepting of everybody. And now you'll go out and you'll typically see, I know a few female grass dancers, which is really cool. You know, you'll go out and you'll hear their stories and where they've come. And I actually have a niece that started dancing grass this year, and she, you know, she danced fancy, she danced jingle, she danced traditional. And she came to her mother and said she doesn't like dancing any of those female styles. And then she came to me and asked me if I could teach her some grass dance moves one day. And I said, sure, why not? Right. She has a twin brother. So it's really funny when she dresses up, everyone thinks that she's her twin brother, but it's actually Gracie. So it's really cool. And then they'll do switch dance specials if you go to a powwow. So every now and then they'll do specials. They'll bring out people as a chance for people to compete or whatever, and they'll do a switch dance. So men dance women's category only, women dance men's category only, and then they'll do it as a contest. So for me, like, I love grass dancing, it's my only thing, but if I ever see a switch dance special, I'll definitely go into one. I think it's I think that would be a very fun, like, I just, yeah, it's a fun thing to see. And I think that's what powwows come to me, like, it's ceremonial, it's healing, it's time for us to pray as well, but it's also time for us to just have fun and to enjoy, you know, the beauty within our culture and our ceremonies and our ways, and then brings us together as a family as well, right? So to answer that question, I say, and maybe some other people would say differently, but I say anybody can dance whatever their spirit is calling them, right? Like, let's say if you were having a dream, like, that's how it all came to me again. Like I said, I took 15 years off. I danced until I was 15 years old. I got into drugs and alcohol, and I pushed myself away from the powwow circle. And you know, after I came back after these 15 years, sorry, I lost my track. I was reading something in the comments there. Yeah, I took that 15 years off, but I'm still relearning everything again. I'm still, you know, just getting back into touch with everything. Oh wait, sorry, that's what it was. After 15 years of not dancing, I started having dreams of it. I was in bed, I would wake up and I'm like, the heck? I was just placing first place at like one of the biggest powwows. I was killing it, and I hadn't danced in 15 years. And once my daughter was born, I took her to her first powwow where my family was, and that's where, you know, it was a game changer for me. Next thing I knew, I was dressed up, I was walking in grand entry, and it was something with that drum. You know, as soon as you feel that energy from the drum, it was like that little kid in me was like, I have to dance. I have to dance. Like I wanted to, right? And I do the music thing as well, which we'll get into here. But I do hip hop music. That had been my career for the last few years. Nightclubs and going out into the bars and performing, that kind of stuff. Now I would much rather just be at a powwow dancing than even doing my music sometimes. Like, although it's like what I do and what I focused on, the powwow has really become the other half of who I am, and I'm happy to have reclaimed it again.
Well, thank you for sharing that. It's just so powerful in your words and explaining the dance and your journey, and your healing journey. And it is really just so it's so insightful, and it's so powerful for you to be willing to share your story with us. David says, to dance so beautifully obviously requires spirit and passion, but also a lot of hard work. Just curious at how much practice is required to master the dances you share. I agree. I was getting tired watching you, and I'm like, wow, you must really work out. So yeah, if you could comment on that.
Yeah, so I actually have like pretty bad arthritis, like all over my body. I don't really speak about it. I think I should more. I think it would like inspire or encourage more people to get up and do it. Like even right now, just sitting, my upper back, lower back are hurting just sitting here. That's from skateboarding my whole life. I used to jump downstairs, and the doctor says I have a compressed spine or something like that. And then injuries, I have a plate in one of my ankles, the other ankle is messed up. Anyway, so it hurts a lot. Um, I, in order to be able to dance, like I think the first couple times I went out, it hurt like so bad. My ankle, I had an ankle surgery where I got a metal plate put into my ankle. So that very first year of dancing, it was about 2 years after my surgery, but my ankle was still flaring up. Like it would like blow up like a balloon. And it was, I didn't know if I was going to be able to. It was very discouraging. Seeing all the other dancers, how they moved, how I was just learning, getting back into it stamina wise. Like my face is tingling after every song, like I'm that tired, right? Um, but it was just the practice. And I know that quitting drinking helped a lot with it. It really upped my energy just as a person in general. Like I wake up early now in the morning every day. I don't have a hangover day anymore. I don't have an excuse anymore, right? And yeah, it's a lot of practice. Like especially coming from the injuries and the body that I have. It took me, I just finished my first full year of competition, but last year I danced as well. I just didn't really compete. It was kind of more just to learn. So 2 years, and up until last month, I probably danced almost every single day, whether it was practice in my living room or it was at a powwow or an event or at a gig. I took most of September off just to try to be a human, I guess. I've been on the road and living out of my car and in my suitcase for the last year and a half. But yeah, and then there's one thing too that I find that I also hurt now because I took time off dancing. Before September came, I was dancing, like I said, every day, every weekend, if anything, right? And when I'm dancing on the weekends, it's intense. Like it's at a powwow, I'm dancing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, grand entries to an hour long, usually half an hour to an hour long, intertribals, and then contest. Yeah, and then I'm leaving with sore feet and everything like that. But I've conditioned myself. It takes a lot of conditioning for sure.
So we're almost at our end of our series, but I know you had music that you wanted to share with us and chat about that. So maybe if you want to talk
Yeah,
about that.
I took a couple time, took a little longer talking about the powwow stuff, which is great. That's kind of the focus of it, being able to educate and share my culture and knowledge with you guys as well. I'm still learning. Everything I told today was versions that I was taught, and I've been told that there's many other versions of different stories and everything like that. So everyone has their own take on it. So for my music, I went to school for audio engineering back in 2018. I graduated at the top of my class. and I landed an internship with the studio that I went to school at called The Beach Audio, downtown Calgary. It was a corporate studio. It was my dream job, and sadly, COVID shut the studio down, and kind of moved on and went on to my own thing. But before that, like I said, I struggled in the streets a lot with drugs, alcohol, the crowds that I was hanging out with. From 16 till about 25 years old, I'd seen a jail cell more times than I can count, more times than I'm proud of to even admit. And most of that was to do with substance abuse, drinking, fighting, things like that. I still kind of always practice music, guitar, I've always had it. Singing, I've always had, and hip hop kind of came to me just naturally throughout the years. I started putting music out around the time I went to school. I was in school, I started putting my music out. Then I started getting opening gigs at nightclubs, bars, opening for big name artists. And then COVID hit, closed everything down. I quit drinking, I quit partying, I started dancing powwow again. And sadly, I actually stopped getting booked for these nightclub gigs. I stopped getting asked to come out and open for artists. I started, seeing opportunity get given to the next person. And I was like, wow, that's insane. So what I did is I created my own brand of Indigenous stage for other artists to come out and shine. So I've been working on my own music lately. I used to talk a lot about the street life, as you would hear about in typical rap music. Now I've really switched to speak more about truth and reconciliation in my music and what life has been like as a young Indigenous man, which led me into the realization of why my life panned out the way it was, and to why certain things like the generational traumas, the mental, physical abuse that I endured as a young child, from stepdads and so forth, just all these things that added up. And then I started realizing that if I could make an impact with my music, speaking my truth, and in a more positive, urban, insightful way for these younger generation, maybe I could inspire other young kids to follow similar, if not the same paths that I went down with sobriety, music, education, and culture. And those are the four things that I really speak on. So I really started writing some of this music kind of catered towards some of these topics. So because I did talk a little bit longer, I won't perform or I won't play as many songs as I was going to, but I have a couple really good ones for you guys.
Perfect.
So I'll start this first one off. It's called Tyla's Song. So as a father to a daughter, I really believe that it's my job to protect Indigenous women. And as a man, it's our job to protect Indigenous women. And you don't see enough of it. You don't see enough men speaking up about it. I have a little sister named Tyla, and when I was 15 years old, I was in a depressed state. I was, a depressed teenager, as most are. But my little sister really helped ground me when she came into our life. She'd sit there, listen to me play guitar. And, when I was depressed and at my worst, she really helped me. So I wrote this song kind of for her. Like, it's called Tyla's Song. I titled it after her because the second verse is strictly about her, dedicated to her. But the whole song as a whole was dedicated to Indigenous women as a whole. And it's the first song I ever did that has like powwow singing in the hook. So usually I'd rap, the chorus part. And then I kind of had a thought in one day in the shower. I was singing powwow one day and I started writing my own song. I was like, I should put that onto a beat. And then I should call a female to sing it because that would sound cool. So this is my song called Tyla's Song. It's unreleased. It's coming out in a couple weeks. It's with a woman named Cherokee Eagle Tail. She's from the Tsuut'ina First Nation. You guys can hear it good, yeah? Back then they believed me, but now it feels good to be a Nietzsche, don't it? I traded my BBs for these bees on me. I been got Northern Cree on repeat, homie. Don't need to pray for me no more, cause I'ma get it. Told the youth that the sky's the limit. I was broke, now I'm paid out by the minute. Woke up this morning, said it's time to get it. No, it's time to get it. You got as much before you get smeared. Yeah, I burned some bridges, but I swam here. Yeah, you learn the most from your losses. I promise, don't pray for me. Pray for the disappearing women. Like this and my sister's been going missing, but this race system really doesn't want to hear it. Ay. And now that I'm a father up a daughter, that's my big fear. But I ain't gotta let her know, I gotta know that daddy always here. I love you, baby girl. Yeah, always like to say that as an Indigenous man, like I said, I believe that it's our job to protect our sisters, you know. No more stolen sisters, search the landfill, let's go. I get a call from my baby sister every time things get hot, at least she call a lot. But she don't know she a star yet. Nah, she don't know she a star yet. I said, trust me, girl, when I was your age, I was in your position. Our older brother was still drinking back then. But I know that he's trying. Yeah, I can see that he's trying. You probably don't know this, but when I was young, it was you that helped me through those days of being young and brown and feeling blue. So I owe you. And girl, I promise one day those stars will all align once you find the road that's truly meant for you. Yeah, so that track is called Tyler Song featuring Cherokee Eagle Tail from the Tsuut'ina First Nation. I'm dropping that song actually in a couple weeks. I did a cool music video for it. I didn't star in the music video. I kind of just had a camera guy follow people around the powwow and take videos of people at the powwow. So it was filmed out in Siksika First Nation. And shout out to Chief O'Ray from out in Siksika. He's O'Ray Crowfoot. Yeah, he really helped me put that one together here. How much time do I have left? Just before I load up the next one.
Okay, there we go. Well, we're at the end, but you know what? We can make a few more minutes for you because it's important. So
Cool. So I dropped a new song today. It's called actually Res to Riches. I won't play that one because it's a little bit more of like it's for the kids. But it's a pretty cool video. It's a really fun song. But what I'll do is I'm gonna perform one song for you guys that is kind of been the theme for today. You know, it is Orange Shirt Day coming up here, and you know, I have this song that I did that was strictly for that matter. Here in the link, I put in my Spotify link there in the chat, so you guys can go and check out that Res to Riches song that I just dropped. It is brand new. So this song that I have is called Letter to Elizabeth. This will be my last song that I perform for you guys. And the song I wrote the night that Queen Elizabeth passed away. I just thought that as a young Indigenous man, you know, there was a lot of anxiety, a lot of angst that was connected towards that, especially with everything that was resurfacing and coming to life with residential schools. My mom was a residential school survivor. My kukum was a residential school survivor, and so forth. My uncles, aunties, I have, you know, I'm a residential school survivor. I'm a product of residential school survivors in a way. And so I just felt like there was a message in the song that I wanted to get, or even just, you know, kind of put my anxiety onto paper, I guess. So the song is called Letter to Elizabeth. There is a music video for it as well out on YouTube. What I can do is I'll put the link to that as well. But yeah, so the subject matter, I mean, there is a couple sensitive topics in here. I do talk a little bit about you know, the suicide of my older sister's father, and you know, there's a message in there that I say to Queen Elizabeth that maybe some may not take the best, but at the end of the day, I'm just kind of speaking my truth as well, and my way of saying, you know, saying something bad without swearing, I guess. I don't have any swears in the song, but it's a good song. So anyways, this is Letter to Elizabeth. The music video link is there for everybody. And thank you guys again for having me. This has been such an honor to be a part of this and do what I do here. Maybe someday I can come up to Lac La Biche and perform for you guys out in person. I'd love to do that sometime.
we would love that for sure.
But yeah, this is Letter to Elizabeth. Thank you guys again.
I've been waiting for you. I'm pretending, and that's all I can do. The love's end, and I can't prove to your heart.
Check.
But there's something
Can't forget about the pain
that they caused us. They robbed us, stolen men and women dating back to Pocahontas. This is PMR, I love y'all, that's where as I come from. Try to make it in this city, but this government's disgusting. Look at what they did to me, look at what they did to us. I can't get no sympathy, they sleep on our intelligence. Go learn yourself some history, not what public school is teaching us. Take back your language and the culture that they keep from us. I was brought up in them trenches, mama went to residential. Still she speak our native language, safe to say that she ain't pay attention. Safe to say that she ain't pay attention. They wouldn't listen, so it had to get to this. They finding skeletons of our children. I wrote a letter to Elizabeth, it went like this: rest in peace, justice for Indigenous. Yeah. Little Pine, I see you too. Can't forget you. Look, listen, I lost my motion back in 99, he drank himself. My sister daddy promised us he wouldn't hang himself. I got some stories from my past I really hate to tell. I like I'm okay on the surface, but I ain't been feeling nauseous. I'm losing conscious, I feel like stopping, but I can't stop it. My elders watching me, put down the bottle, can't drink responsive. My spirit's wandering, pray till the thunder burns, ask them to send it back to me. Seasons gon' change and I ain't gon' change up. Money change everything, I don't wanna be famous, yeah. So I don't wanna be famous, yeah. So I don't wanna be famous.
I just want to say justice to the lives lost and affected from the residential school system. Like I said, my mother was a residential school survivor. My cooking was a residential school survivor. And in many ways, we're all survivors, all of us Indigenous people. You know, Indigenous people are now coming to a point where we're able to speak our truths. We're able to actually, you know, grow into urban society and to thrive. So it's amazing to see. Thank you guys again for having me. It's been such an honor to be a part of your guys' Orange Shirt Day experience. Hi, hi.
Thank you so much, Tony. We really did enjoy your presentation, and we do hope to have you up here in Lac-La-Biche sometime. That would be awesome. As we all start linking onto, going on to YouTube and Spotify and start following you. So got a whole new room of groupies. Linda, did you have any comments, questions?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate sincerely how much we really appreciate you taking the time to share with us and to get to know you a little bit. And now you're going to have all different types of followers. My, you know, it's great. It's a great opportunity to be able to share a message through music. And there's just so much power in that. And so I'm so happy that your journey has taken a new journey, and your little daughter is so beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing about your family. And we look forward to continuing to having you back sometime also.
Can't wait. Can't wait. You guys have been an amazing crowd. It's some of the questions were really good. And yeah, I love doing these online things. They're very fun.
Well, thank you so much. And sorry, thanks for bearing with us through all the technical difficulties, but it was well worth the wait. We could have gone on all afternoon, actually. But you've started our day off right, and we really do appreciate you sharing your journey with us and sharing your family too. So thank you.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me. Hi, hi.
Hi. So thank you everyone for attending our event and putting up with our technical difficulties as we motored through this morning. But we are pleased to announce that we have a final presentation in our Indigenous Resiliency Speaker Series on October 3rd at 11 a.m. with Dr. Jacqueline Ottman. And as some of you may know, Dr. Ottman was scheduled to present on September 7th, but we had to reschedule due to some health concerns. So she's back with us next week. And so in her presentation, Dr. Ottman will describe and provide a historical overview and future projection of reconciliation based on the concepts of resilience and persistence from a First Nation Saulteaux perspective. Resilience and persistence are the building blocks for enduring relations between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples and for deep-seated educational and economic reconciliation. So make sure that you register for the event. If you've not for our last session, you can register through Eventbrite. and just to help us mark the conclusion of the month-long series that we had with our 4 speakers. So thank you for joining us today. Linda, did you have any last words before we sign off?
No, I just encourage everybody to reflect on September 30th for National Day of Reconciliation and Orange Shirt Day, and celebrate the amazing diverse culture of many Indigenous peoples.
For sure. And we hope that within the communities that are watching today, if you can go out and participate in many of the walks and talks and things that are going on, it's so enlightening, and it's the perspectives that we gain from that are just so important as we move forward. So again, thank you so much for joining us today and letting us embark on this journey filled with resilience, knowledge, and togetherness through the month. Thank you.